It was the tortoise's fault. If he hadn't lied, maybe we wouldn't have death. I remember that day clearly. It was bright, too bright for what was coming. My grandmother told me about the time when people never died. Old people would grow weak and tired, but they never truly left us. They would just sleep for long, long days and wake up again, full of life. But all of that changed because of a message that was never delivered. Back then, the gods lived far away from us, but they cared for us. There was no sickness, no pain. The God of life, Oromala, sent a message to the world. He chose the tortoise to carry it, and that was the first mistake. Everyone knew the tortoise was clever, but clever in a bad way. He liked to trick people. Oromala's message was simple. He told the tortoise to tell the people, "You will live forever. You may grow old, but you will not die." But the tortoise was slow. He took his time. He stopped at every village, ate from every farm, and by the time he reached the river where the people lived, he had forgotten the message. The people gathered around, waiting to hear the words of the god. Everyone was quiet. Children, elders, even the animals stopped to listen. The tortoise scratched his head, trying to remember what he was supposed to say. He knew it was something important, but his mind had wandered after so many days of laziness. Then, he lied. He told the people, "The god says you will die. Your days are numbered, and when you grow old, you will not wake again." A deep silence fell over the village. The elders looked at each other, confused. The children cried. The birds stopped singing. Everyone was afraid. No one had ever thought about dying before, and now, it was all they could think about. I was just a boy then, standing at the edge of the crowd. I didn't understand what death meant. I asked my grandmother, but she just shook her head and said, "This is how it will be now." The tortoise left the village that day, thinking nothing of it. But Oromala knew. He saw everything. He called the tortoise back and asked him what he had told the people. The tortoise tried to lie again, but Oromala was no fool. He was furious. He said, "Because of your greed and laziness, your lie will become the truth." And just like that, death became real. From that day on, when people grew old and tired, they didn't wake up. The first to go was my grandmother. I remember her lying on her mat, her eyes closed, but this time, she didn't stir. She didn't get up. The house felt colder that morning. Everyone in the village gathered around, unsure of what to do. It was the first death we had ever seen. We buried her by the river, where the earth was soft. The water was calm that day, but the air felt heavy. I didn't cry then. I didn't know how to, not yet. But as more people began to die, I learned. Now, death is everywhere. It waits for us all, and we know that one day, it will come. All because of a message that was never delivered right. Because the tortoise couldn't be trusted.